Hi, guys. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates. Well, it was April Fool's this week. I want to know if you played any April Fool's jokes, or better yet, if anyone were played on you. I didn't even think about it. Well, I did think about it. Trey was in town, and I thought, huh. One time I called mom and I told her that I'd been in a car accident. She didn't think that was too funny. And I could do that to Trey. But then I don't want him to do that to me in the future. So maybe I shouldn't teach him that one. Excuse me. I put on my Facebook page, I thought KLM had a really cute April Fool's joke. They said that if you reclined your seat, there was going to be loud noises that go off, because one of the pet peeves of all travelers is that reclining seat in front of you. Who can I get an amen? Who hates for that person to recline the seat in front of you? Well, I don't mind, but on long haul flights, I do recline my seat. So, okay. No joke, but announced April 1st. TSA has declared peanut butter as a liquid. This is no joke. This is serious. The pun is the internet is going nuts over it. Anyway, it's true. The internet is going nuts over it. Twitter specifically, because TSA has a Twitter page, and you should follow TSA if you're a traveler, because they put all of the current information there. Anyway, I thought that was mind-blowing that it came up on April Fool's. I thought it was an April Fool's joke. I eat crunchy peanut butter, and I don't know if you would consider mine as liquid, but what's even funnier is if you take a PB&J sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that's fine. That's considered food, and you can carry as many PB&J sandwiches on as you want. You just can't carry peanut butter. Okay, put into the comments below what you think of that one. All right, April 1st. Well, the Queen Mary in Long Beach opened this week, and to guest again. So the Queen Mary is an 87-year-old sailing vessel. And when we come back from Hawaii on more than one trip, we've used the Queen Mary as our hotel, even though some people say that it's haunted. So it's just underwent a lot of refurbishment. They took off the lifeboats for the structural damage. It said damage, but for the structural weight of it, I suppose, since it's not going to be out, on the ocean, it's just going to be used as a hotel. And because it's just very cool to walk around and see what it was like 87 years ago to cruise. Some of the berths are beds that hang, like netting beds. Ours was netting like that, but it had a fluffy a fluffy mattress on top of it. I didn't have any problem sleeping. Okay, on to other news. It is tulip season in the Netherlands. And if you haven't looked, but if you're a lover of flowers like Linda Greason and some of our other customers, just go check out some of the pages, because it's in full bloom. And there are more tulips this year than in years past, because they expanded the tulip fields. Our travel records are breaking what we had pre-pandemic. And so, in anticipation of that, they have expanded where you can see all the tulips at, and it is in full bloom right now. Another thing that happened April 1st is the Sandals in Curacao opened. It's the Sandals Royal Curacao, and Curacao is part of the ABC Islands. You might have heard me speak about it, like when there are hurricanes or hurricane weather everywhere else, you can always go to the ABC Islands and be safe. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, because they are outside of the hurricane loop. So Curacao is opening a brand new Sandals there. I can't wait. It's one of the few that I have not seen. I've not seen the Sandals in Grenada, and now I will have to make a trip down to Curacao to see that property. Did you know that on March 31st, Congress proposed a no-fly list? Now, it's been pushed off. It's not going to happen during this session of Congress. However, you know how the cruise lines have wanted a no cruise list. It's like unruly cruise passengers share that data across the board so we all know who those people are. Well, the airlines are going to do the same, because in 2022, there were more than 2,500 reports of unruly passengers, and it's called the Passenger Protection of Aggression Act. I don't know how many times you've seen it, but I've been on board before where a steward or a stewardess had to say more than one time to a passenger to sit down or to please fasten your seatbelt. Well, now it's almost like baseball. If they tell you 3 times, you are in big trouble. The lady that was taken off of Southwest just a couple of weeks ago, the only thing she refused to do was to fasten her seatbelt. And when the stewardess got sharp with her and she got sharp back, that's all it took. She called the air marshals. They came and it took her off the plane. So you can't be bad on a plane or they're going to take you off. Can't be bad on a cruise ship or they're going to take you off. Just better watch out. Speaking of cruise ships, have you seen the numbers that are coming in saying that there are new outbreaks on cruise ships? It's not COVID. It's the good old norovirus. So norovirus has been around for years. If you've not experienced it, well, bless your heart, because I took a group on board, and out of about 160 passengers, 124 of us got norovirus. I know that even though I was in a suite, and good thing I was in a suite because I had Trey with me and we just stayed in the room. He had plenty of room to play in that suite, but I sure hated that I felt bad for 3 days. It took me before I could get over it. So norovirus will mimic, just like when you go to Mexico and we say, don't eat the ice or don't drink the water. It's like Montezuma's revenge. That's just the best way to describe it. Some people just are nauseous and sick on their stomach, but the majority of people have more severe cases. I'll leave it at that. Use your imagination. Anyway, it's been a big news story. There were 300 passengers, bless their hearts, on the Ruby Princess that came into port last week, and it was deemed to be norovirus. So while the CDC has taken down all of the weekly reporting data that was required during COVID, you can still go to the CDC's website and see which ships have reported, because if they're, and I don't remember the numbers, but I think it's, if there's more than 100 people on any sailing, they have to report it, and an investigation does start. So far, all of it has been reported as regular old norovirus. How do you stay away from norovirus? Wash your hands. You know how you go in the buffet and they say, washy, washy? Well, that's how you stop it. When you walk up the stairwell and you touch a banister, if somebody has been around somebody else and they pass that germ and you touch that banister, now you are carrying it. So it's highly contagious. It's by contact. And so wash your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. When I get on board a plane, I take out a Lysol wipe and I wipe down the tray table, all of the knobs on the little screen, because I am going to watch a movie. The side arms, because I probably will touch them. And I go back over my phone. And again, I get out a clean wipe and go over my hands one more time. And then I feel like I'm ready. Norovirus has been so strongly reported, and it's not just on cruise ships. There was a breakout at a conference in Las Vegas, another conference that was in Boston. If you look for it, it's out there. So again, nothing like washing your hands to keep you healthy. That, and what did the doctor say? Eat an apple a day. Okay. All right. Next thing. So Holland American took a poll in March of what their cruise passengers wanted to bring back. Things that had been missing. Things that might have been taken away during the pandemic. What do Holland American cruisers want? What might you ask? Put it in the comments what you think it is. I'll come back to that in a few minutes. Okay. There is a girl on TikTok. She's had 25 million views, and her name is Kayla, Kayla Nicole, Nicole.G. Poor Kayla Nicole. She was on a Carnival ship last week. And you know how you can see over the pool deck? Well, she was skimming through her TV channels in her room, and she sees her boyfriend, who said, I'm going to run and get something to eat. Well, he was front and center on the big screen in front of her and the whole world. Just to document it, her friend started a video of it, and she is reading a script, you know, whatever the cruise director is saying online. And all of a sudden you see her dash out of the room. She must be going to confront him. I just thought that was hilarious. Anyway, I am going to go check it out. I did see it on Toadie's Lalita Loca. He actually put it on his feed the other day when it happened. That was hilarious though. Okay. The EU and the UK are again in more than threats. They are in strikes, transit strikes. British Air today alone canceled more than a dozen flights. Lufthansa is saying don't expect anything better from the Lufthansa flights, although there weren't any numbers reported today of their cancellations. And not to be outdone, Easy Air over in Europe says that to check and recheck your flights before coming to the airport. It's, I think I said last week how Germany is known for their rail service being immaculate, efficient, on time. Not anymore. These strikes are killing it, guys. So what should you do? You should have a very good travel agent that keeps it up with it for you, or one that you can call and say, hey, what's going on with my reservations? Or you need to reach out to me and let me give you the European Transit website where you can see all of the strikes and flight updates on a daily basis. Okay. Next, I shared last week all of the earthquakes that had gone on. I mean, we saw them beyond just the United States. We saw them again in Nepal and India. And this week, maybe possibly from those recent earthquakes, we had a Hindu temple that the floor has collapsed. It was in Indore. That's the name of the city. But literally the floor caved out from underneath them and they fell. And there was a well underneath the church. And it seems they feel the majority of them drowned. It was an 80-foot deep well. And it had just, what do you call the rebar? It just had the metal across the flooring with stone slabs laid on top of it. And at some point it has become unsafe and it collapsed this week. If you see a travel news story and you think, hey, this would be great for Melinda to share, please reach out to me, share it. I try my best to jot things down throughout the week and then all weekend. And then for sure on Mondays, I go through everything to see what's the latest and greatest. I'm hesitant to harp in on the stock numbers for the cruise lines. However, they're up. If you remember a few weeks ago, Carnival was under $9 and now they are $10.15. Royal Caribbean, I know they were in the 40s, but I don't remember what numbers. Seems like it was in the lower 40s, but now they're at $65.30 share. And I am positive that NCL was just short of $10, and Norwegian Cruise Line, when they closed, was at 13.45. So all of the stock prices are up a bit. I hope that's good news for you. Ladies, be aware that tomorrow is Business Women's Networking, which happens in our office in downtown Mebane. And this weekend, I would love to share with you that our church is doing an Easter egg hunt. Now, no, we don't believe that Easter eggs or the bunny rat Easter bunny has any magical powers or anything. It's just a tool, because I went to Easter egg hunts when I was young. Did you go when you were young? Anyway, we're just using it as an outreach at noon. So when you've done all that other running around, come over to Baptist Temple. Oops, I was going to share that with you. Here you go. It is at Baptist Temple. And I put 11 a.m., but yesterday, because it looks like it's going to rain, they said it's going to be at noon. And not to worry, we will have inside Easter egg hunts, age appropriate. So the way that we do it is like The little toddlers, the ones who cannot walk, they're in one group. And then like 2 to 5-year-olds, or maybe it wasn't 5-year, 2 or 3-year-olds, they're in another group. 4 and 5-year-olds, another group, and so forth and so on. Anyway, there's always golden eggs to be found, and naturally they have extra prizes. But whether or not you have kids or not, you can come out and eat hot dogs because we have homemade chili thanks to Judy Tice and all the fixins. All right, guys, I hope that I see you. And ladies, come out tomorrow morning. Sherry Duraco is our speaker for Business Women's Networking. Send me a message. Let me know what you're up to this year. Myrtle Beach has got 30% off summertime rates. If that's what you're up to, I would love to help you with it. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.